What's happening, you beautiful people? I always like to start these videos out by giving full grace and gratitude to all of you taking your precious time to come and watch these videos, interact with them, get a little inspiration, hear what I have to say, and most of all, come with me on my grand adventure as an artist, a poet, a storyteller, and a media influencer. Welcome, welcome. My name is Ipaintcreatures, and I'm also known as IPC. And today I'm showing you a little bit of some sketching I was doing one day. Sometimes I really like to kind of practice and go into the certain genres of certain animals and turn them into living creatures. And so what I'm showing you above is a whole bunch of sketching and pen and ink I'm doing in the realm of creatures that are inspired by the highest, most high bird, the eagle, the bald eagle. And today I'd like to talk to you about a quote by Marc Chagall. And I think I'm pronouncing that right, but he's obviously an artist. And this quote right here, it says, "If I create from my heart, nearly everything works. If from my head, almost nothing." And I'm a big component of that because I've always, ever since when I was 11 years old, they found a giant tumor on my arm and they wanted to amputate my left arm. And they basically said I wouldn't live 3 or 4 years after that. So basically the 14 years old. And that kind of really brought me into, the feeling being of myself, and really brought out kind of, I guess, would be my creative, intuitive, more feminine side. And the arts basically saved my life and gave me purpose. And after that, as growing up a teenager, I grew up without a dad, and so I had to basically go on the streets to find my family, and eventually, hustle enough to make my living, and so I could have a somewhat normal teenaging life. But what happened is, I automatically didn't know a lot about it, but I was doing art because it kept me grounded and always gave me an outlet when I would worry or have too much doubt, and so I could use my imagination to do something creative and productive. And so basically I built up my mental faculties, which I talk a lot about in these videos. And the mental faculties are like your wonder, your imagination, your intuition, your will, your curiosity. And that's where you create from your heart. You just sense things and feel things. So like another example is I grew up playing, pretty much classical violin since the age of 5, and I went to like Suzuki schools and stuff like that. So I became like a little protege, and I basically left that music behind, like playing a specific instrument. When I went through my father dying, and then they diagnosed me with that big tumor, which they carved out of my arm. And after that, music was a big part of my life. I was very much into rock and roll and hip hop, and started learning that I loved doing spoken things. And so I started to rap and do spoken word with bands. And I always had the musicians tell me how I knew a lot of the fundamentals and structures. And I would always tell them, I'm just feeling it. I'm coming directly from my heart, and it's passion because art saved my life. So that's a way of looking at things. So when you do things, try to find the interest and the curiosity, things to get your mental faculties flowing, and then everything else works out, and you don't get so heady, because the heady kind of like always is asking, how am I going to do it? Or, thinks in lack, limitation, and failure in your consciousness daily. And so you don't get out of the gate to really get in there to see, what this power of coming directly from your heart. And I can end with a haiku: speaking directly from the heart bypasses any major surgery. So go out and work from your heart, because everything will work itself out. Stop coming from your head, because things really don't fantastically work from there. Thank you for listening today, and come on and watch the videos, share all that good stuff. Let's build the community. Peace.